Hey guys, it's beautiful out here. I haven't been able to come outside without a sweater on in a while, but today's gonna be a little bit different. It's been a really weird week for me, and what I mean by that is I've had a lot of emotions stirring. My head's been all over the place, and I guess as you guys all know, everyone knows that there's a lunar eclipse coming up. And I'm going to tell you why that's so significant. It's not just a lunar eclipse. You know, people talk about how people get crazy emotionally during full moons, but this is going to be a lunar eclipse. And so I've been learning a lot about energies lately. And so we have the feminine energy of the moon, we have the energy of the sun, and then we have the energy of the earth. I was about to sneeze. Excuse me. And I have been feeling this more so lately. So for anybody that's been watching me for any amount of time, you probably paid attention to the video that I made about a calling that I had when I was 16 and a Bible passage that was used to call me. And I spent about 20 plus years in ministry. And so I was very well integrated into the Christian church. And within the Christian church, we are told that spirituality, energies, tarot, any kind of things where people are doing physical healings or whatnot are evil. They're dark. They're, bad spiritually. And so this was ingrained in my mind. And so I've actually had some really crazy things start happening to me in the last 3 or 4 months. And so the journey I'm doing with me being on, doing my channel is I want to help people grow, heal, emotionally, mentally. And it's definitely going to be taking on a spiritual side as well, because my understanding of the spiritual world has grown and deepened quite a bit. And so I've moved away from the Christian church, and I no longer believe that is, it's not my truth. I am not going to discriminate against any religion at all. But I will tell you that I have a very interesting view, and the more that I come to understand, the more I'm convinced that the way I choose to look at God, the universe, source, our internal selves, is the way God how he actually works. So with that being said, you're going to be learning a lot more about my spiritual journey. I'm still on a quest to understand a lot of this. I've spoken about how I have viewed the energies outside of me and the impact that I have on others. Well, I'm starting to learn why that is. Why is my energy so strong? Why is my aura so strong? Why do people notice me even when my mouth is shut? And it's not because I'm the prettiest one in the room, I can tell you that. So I've been learning a lot about this. It's really crazy. And so, it's not as easy getting on the camera as you might think. I'm very comfortable in front of the camera, but when you want to sit down and you want to elaborate on an issue or a topic, it's like you have to almost kind of be in the right mind frame, because you communicate better, you express yourself better. And so I was like, you know what? This is what's going on right now. And so I'm going to talk about it for a little bit. So, actually, because of my belief system in the Christian church versus what I now believe, there was a cognitive dissonance, and we have that in a lot of areas of life. When we grow up in a family and we have, toxic behaviors and patterns versus, learning what it's like to really care for yourself and set boundaries, it's a struggle, because there's that cognitive dissonance. Your brain is struggling between what you believed and what you're learning and your understanding is going to be best for you. And so I've been having this struggle going on. And as I move forward with this, even being able to communicate this, it's what's very, very difficult for me is I was surrounded by the church for 20 plus years. And I've had a lot of people that have looked down on me very negatively because of what I've chosen to do with my life sexually and being part of the lifestyle and, being free in that regard. But now taking this turn, I'm like, I mean, I think of Jesus, you know, even Jesus, he couldn't even, you know, share his truth about God around his family because they grew up with him his entire life. And so it's interesting. And so if there's anybody out there that is really struggling between having questions and not having them answered, because I'm going to tell you, all that time in the Christian church, there were so many things that did not make sense to me. There were holes. There was just things that I was like, no, there's more to this. There's more. I'm finally getting all the answers now, but it's conflicting, right? It's conflicting. I'm going to tell you, I know that I have healing abilities that are more than just being able to teach and, you know, being empathetic with people, you know, and I'm learning about it. I'm actually learning about, you know, reading tarot is obviously there's people that use it for the dark side, but the more I've looked into it, the majority of them use it because they're communicating with God, with the universe, and they're relaying messages to help people even grow mentally and emotionally. So it's been really cool. So I just wanted to kind of throw this out there. I didn't want to make a very long video, but I figured I'd at least want to put my face out there. Yeah, now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to integrate all of this. Like what path am I going to take? You know, I've really tried to pin down like what I want to do, and I'm working on it, you know? And so listen, I guess I'm being a little vulnerable and coming and just being like, you know what, guys, I'm just going to be vulnerable. I'm going to be transparent. You know, I mean, none of us have it all figured out, right? So I told you guys from the beginning, you get to follow me on this journey. I'm going to teach you things as I go. I'm going to teach you things that I had to go through. And, you know, let's see where we go with this. You know, I want you guys all to be connected. And you know what? I haven't done this very often, but if you could please subscribe and throw a like down there, throw me a comment. Tell me if this is something you've been struggling with. I've also asked people if there are topics you want to hear me talk about. You know, I mentioned I'm part of the lifestyle. You know, you want to talk about coming out of the church and how difficult it was for me to allow myself to enjoy myself sexually. That was pretty crazy too. And of course, I'm probably going to elaborate more on this at a later date as well. But gosh, it's so beautiful out. So tomorrow night, I am going to be writing down things that I'm thankful for. Things that are my intentions moving forward, things I want to manifest, and then also things I want to get rid of. I'm gonna burn them in a fire underneath that blood moon that we have coming up, because you know what? The universe is listening. The universe is listening. So with that, I'm gonna sign off. You guys enjoy yourselves. You know, make sure that your thoughts are positive during this time, because as we move forward, this energy that we're experiencing right now because of the moon is either going to help us catapult forward, or it could potentially make us continue even on a more on a heavier way in that negativity. You know, you want to talk about karma? Yeah, karma's with yourself too. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and who knows, yeah, go enjoy some nature too. I love being out here.